Christmas has come and gone, and we're in 2026, and today is Friday Sews, Episode 1. I want to share a couple of items that I sewed in December and share some sewing gifts and talk a little bit about what I've got coming next. If you're interested in hearing about this, stay tuned. I'm not quite sure where to start. I've got several items to share, so we'll start with the things that I sewed in December. If you watch my 2025 favorite sewing makes, you'll have seen the garment that I'm going to talk about first. It's the Grainline Studio Linden sweatshirt. I sewed the sweatshirt using a remnant piece of French terry from Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door. And I also had this beautiful purple ribbing that came from her shop. And I wanted a coordinating fabric to make this Linden sweatshirt. So I ordered this red French terry, and I think it goes very well together. I didn't have enough of the remnant to put this on the back, so my back is solid. And I've included a sewing label that's high on Sojo. And that was a lovely gift from Nanny Lynn Sews. And the next make that I'm going to share also includes a sewing label that I received from Nanny Lynn Sews. So thank you, Lynn, for those gifts last year. Last year. We're in 2026. The second garment that I made is a blouse, and I made it to wear on Christmas Eve. I first thought that I would wear a dress, but then realistically, our family doesn't really dress up on Christmas Eve. We go to my side of the family's get together, and it's more casual. There's between 25 and 30 of us, and we tend to either have it outside or we'll have it inside. But this year we rented a community center, and it was nice. We went and had it there. So the blouse that I made for Christmas Eve is a Sewingamore Mirabell blouse. This pattern here. I had never heard of that company before, and I was on YouTube, and her channel showed up in my feed, and I watched it, and she was making this blouse, and I just really loved the way it looked, and so I bought it and sewed it. This is the Mirabell blouse. You may recognize this fabric. It is one of the Think Pink subscription box fabrics. I believe it was supposed to be 100% viscose. I meant to look it up in my ebook because it's been a while since I received it, and it's been in my stash, and to double check that, because for some reason when I was sewing this blouse, this fabric it was difficult to sew. It wanted to fray, and it did not feel like most of the viscose that I received from Andrea feels. So don't know if it is a combination fabric, but I did find it a little trickier to sew with, and mainly because of the fraying. I will have a pattern review for this blouse, so I will share more about the blouse in that video, but I will insert a photo that I took of myself in front of the Christmas tree at this community center, and I'm wearing just blue jeans and boots and this blouse, and I'm wearing some beautiful purple earrings. Casey owns Betsy and Esther, and she does have an Etsy shop, and I thought those earrings looked very well with this blouse. That's really the only photograph that I took of there, but I do have a little clip of me wearing it, and I'll insert that. Let's talk about my sewing gifts. I received the Atelier Jupe Pippa 2.0 dress. And if you've watched my channel for long, you'll know that I do love Atelier Jupe patterns. This is supposed to be, yeah, a beginner-friendly dress. I've seen several beautiful versions, and I decided that I wanted to give it a try. I was a little concerned because of this belt, and I do carry a lot of weight in my tummy area, but I've seen people of different body shapes making it, and so I am going to try and see how it looks, and we'll talk about that later. I'm hoping to get this made up in the near future. The next sewing pattern that I received, and of course I did help pick out these gifts so that my husband and son would know what to buy me, is Tesutti Fabrics Tesutti Robe. Now I do not own a dressing robe. I have one that is more made for cooler weather. But this is made for lighter weight fabric, so it'll be nice for the summertime. And I'm hoping to go ahead and get this sewn up in the near future also, so that I'll have it ready for warmer weather. And I think it's going to be a lovely robe. I always like to add to my sewing tools and notions, and so this year I selected a French ruler, and they purchased this from Wawak, and yeah, it's a very nice ruler, and it should help when I go to do any pattern adjustments or having to grade on some sewing patterns. The other item that they bought me was 4 spools of maxi lock thread. I've never used any of the variegated thread before, but I've wanted to, and so I've got 4 spools of that. I had a nice surprise from a girl that I went to high school with. She reached out to me and said she was cleaning out a house where someone had left some sewing supplies, and she brought me this huge bag of buttons. And they were very colorful and lots of fun buttons, and I look forward to using those in some of my future makes. What am I sewing next? Well, I have a t-shirt cut out already. I also have a tote bag cut out, and I also have these 2 fabrics from my last 2 subscription boxes that I wanted to get sewn soon. Hopefully, with today I'm filming on New Year's Day and I'm off work, so I'm hoping to start on one of those projects soon, one of those 4. And what can you expect from me in 2026? I plan to do more Friday Sews videos. I don't know if I'll be able to do every Friday, but I definitely want to come to you as much as I can. And my goal is to try to have at least 1 video a week, and it may or may not be a Friday Sews video. My next video is going to be a Make 9 review and what are my plans for 2026. Like, am I going to do a Make 9, or what kind of sewing intentions do I have for 2026? So stay tuned for that. I also hope to do some sewing tutorials or sew with me videos, and also share some life content. Now let's get into a little bit about life, and then I'll be back with you shortly. Now to a little bit about life. Starting my new year off with good intentions. December, I ate way too much junk. I exercised, but not enough. And my intention for 2026 is to take control of my health, eat healthy, have a healthy breakfast, start the day out right, and exercise more. It is chilly this morning. I think it's around 37 degrees. And I decided to bundle up and come for a walk and talk about my life intentions for 2026. You've already seen me talk about my sewing catch up and intentions for the coming year. But now let's talk a little bit about life. If I can hold my hands steady, my fingers are quite cold. My goal is to increase my steps. I want to do several forms of exercise. I like to walk. I do have a treadmill. I like to hike, walk outside. I like to use my spin bike, yoga, Pilates, and include a variety of exercise. But I realized in this past year, being a woman over 50, I need to also do more functional exercise, resistance training. That's an area of weakness, so I am going to also include some hand weights and calisthenics and try to do some more functional exercises along with my aerobic and other exercises I just talked about. And December was busy with work. Of course, this time of year there's a lot of sickness, so they work in a doctor's office. I'm not clinical, but yeah, I work in the front office, and it's a busy time of year, except for this past week with just Christmas and New Year's. It's been a little slower, and that's nice. But I'm out for a walk and starting my year off right. Okay, so what can you expect on the life front in the coming year? I hope to share a little bit more hiking videos or include bits of hiking, fishing, and boating. And I may even share a few recipes. I may include those in a separate playlist if I do a video dedicated more to that type of content versus sewing, or I may just add it in at the end of a sewing video, depending on what it is and what I want to share. But I'm hoping to bring you lots of good sewing content in the coming year and live content. Boy, it was cold on that walk, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. If this is your first time watching my channel, my name is Cynthia, and you're watching Mountain Accent Sewing. And yes, it is mainly about sewing, but I do like to share some live content. Before I go today, I want to thank everyone that watched my latest video and gave me all the lovely comments. I appreciate it so much. I did have a fun year, 2025, and I feel like I made some beautiful garments. I also want to thank Lynn, another friend Lynn, for the Ko-fi tip. I appreciate that so much. That is my very first Ko-fi. If anyone else would like to tip my channel and help me in 2026, I will link that below, but don't feel like you have to, but I do appreciate that support. Thank you for everyone that has followed me these past few years, and I hope you'll stay with me this coming year. I want to thank you for watching today, and I'm going to close this video by sharing some photos, and I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next week for my Make 9 review.